community, our hometown. This is Kearney Live on 102.7 FM, our hometown radio station. Kearney Live is presented by Kearney Trust, 310 West 92 Highway in Kearney, 816-628-6666. And now here's the hosts of Kearney Live, Mike Davis and Jim Dickerson.
And welcome to the program, everybody. It's good to have you here on this Wednesday afternoon as we try to finish up June of the beautiful year of 2020. For those of you joining us on the TV audience and are looking at me thinking, Mike Davis doesn't look too good. Is he sick? It's actually, Mike is on vacation this week, and he picked a beautiful time to do it. I think the plan was that he was going to go down to Arkansas, and he does some canoeing and rafting and kayaking and other physical activities that I don't do. But he's down there, so I'm in the studio with Brian Watts. Brian, good to have you here.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
And Brian always puts together a great show. And then we've got some other guests coming up. Now, we originally, for those of you who knew and follow the program on a regular basis, knew that we were going to have Stacy Bratcher in here, the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. And we were going to have Shauna Searcy from the Economic Development Council. So let's talk. Shauna, first of all, came down. She's got a cough, a cold, a fever, and chill, and she heard that she was feeling ill. And so for those of you
I don't think she heard it. I think she felt it.
For those of you who might have gotten the Ferris Bueller reference, you, of course, have to be probably over 30 to get that. So she won't be with us today, so that left us with Stacy. And wouldn't you know it, her husband somehow got exposed to the Rona. So she and her husband are quarantined for the next 14 days. And that's right. He was just exposed. He didn't get diagnosed with it.
No.
And we're actually, we have somebody in-house that's going to be joining us later. Annie is going to join us later. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Rona because that's kind of her upcoming specialty, but we'll get to that later in the show.
Yep.
And don't think for a minute she's not nervous about that. She's over in the green room. I can see her getting nervous already. But anyway, Stacy is at home quarantined. I wish you were here with us, but I understand what you're doing. And the funny part with that is the chamber offices and have been closed for 3 months.
Probably about 3.
So she's been sitting at home for 3 months, and she's probably, as one who can attest to this, there comes a point where you're ready to get out of the house because there's a lot of us, some of us that have, even though, you know, we've been at home for a long time. But Stacy, I'd like to get some of those home improvement projects done that you don't already done. I want to throw out a little bit of congratulations. Our own Brian, what can I talk about this?
Yeah, it's common knowledge.
Our own Brian Watts is now the vice president. Is that right?
Yep.
Of the executive or of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah. So way to go, Brian. Congratulations on that. And I forgot the new president is
Jerry Spencer.
Jerry Spencer, that's right. Jerry Spencer. So congratulations there. Jerry's actually going to be joining us on the show here in July, if I remember. She's going to be talking about the museum and some of the historical aspects of Kearney, which actually is kind of a timely thing, talking about historical thing. I wanted to give a little shout out to one of our sponsors, Gold and More Jewelers over in Liberty. Little personal experience here. So I've got this watch. I don't know if you can see this thing here. My brother actually gave it to me. It was there's a story behind it, but he and I actually have the same watch, but it's kind of a unique watch, and the battery died on it. And so I was going to try and fix it myself. And as Brian knows, I have no skills whatsoever. So after that failed miserably, I got online. I did the sensible thing. I got on YouTube, tried to figure out how to fix it. And basically everybody said, you can't. It can't be done. It's the world's weirdest watch, blah, blah, blah. So I took it over to Gold and More Jewelers, and I walked in, and I expected to get, looked at funny and all that. Delbert walked right up. And he said, oh, yeah, you got to have this fancy tool. He pulled out this tool. In 3 minutes, I was done. In and out.
That's awesome.
So thank you to the folks over at Gold and More Jewelers. I really appreciate that. And if you have, so I guess the point of that is if you have anything that's unusual, run it on over. They'll get you taken care of and get you taken care of quickly. And they are, in fact, open. One final note before we get to our first guest of the program. For those of you who've been asking, yes, we are doing the KPGZ News. You can sign up for that. You can get it so it's sent to your email inbox every morning when we have new news. The one thing on the KPGZ News site that you're going to notice is that it is pretty much completely directed at Kearney news or something that affects Kearney. Now, occasionally you'll see something like something that is Major League Baseball, for example. There's a story on that because it's a national thing. But we don't have a whole bunch of stuff in there where you have to filter through and try to find something. So we try to keep it Kearney or Kearney area oriented. So you'll see all that stuff. Go to the website, 1027kearneymo.com, and you'll see the news on the left-hand column. And if you click on subscribe, you can actually get it sent to you. If you don't want it sent to you, you can just read it as the stories come up. 1027kearneymo.com. We also have some other news things we're working on, but I'm not going to tell you what that is yet because those won't come out till here in probably late July, I'm thinking. Is that right?
Maybe sooner. We don't know.
Maybe sooner. We don't know.
It's going to be a surprise.
It's going to be a big surprise. Brian, you have anything else?
Nope. I think you covered everything. That was great.
Excellent. Let's like I said, we had to go into the vault today to get to our first guest because of Stacy sitting at home and Shauna doing whatever it is she's doing right now. But over at the Fulfillment House, and if you're not familiar, we've done a lot of things with the Fulfillment House, and they have all their associates over there. And they actually they have some big name. We were over there in November, December. I think
it was more like December, yeah.
Whenever it was. Yes, it was cold. Yes. I do remember that. But they, like the things that they have running through there are pretty impressive. I know one of the books is Charles Payne's book. If you're not familiar with Charles, his book is over there. And actually, Brian was going to get Charles on the show. He's still working on that.
Yeah, we're working on that. We'll get it done.
So we'll let you know when that happens. But at the Fulfillment House, let's bring in first. My first guest is going to be Baylee, who is the SID. She is the interim executive director, something. We had a word worked out for it earlier. Baylee, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. Glad to be here.
So for those who don't know, just give us a little background on what the Fulfillment House is.
Yeah, so the Fulfillment House started almost 2 years ago, and really what we do is just help those with special needs post-graduation to continue to have a job and a career. And it's something that's really personal to my family and I because of my little brother, Jack. And it's an opportunity that we've seen for him to be able to continue to grow and be employed post-graduation. And
so what are the types of things they do over there?
So we kind of have the motto of fulfilling orders and fulfilling dreams. We, as you mentioned, we have some various book campaigns that come through Fulfillment House, and we fulfill kits, so books, DVDs, some papers, and then we also have 2 other campaigns we're working, and one of them's it's local, it's IXL, the sports drinks. We ship some of their drinks, and then we also have a flashlight company that we're working for, J5 Tactical.
Okay, so you're doing some of their distribution. Mm-hmm. So if I'm a company, how do I get involved with the Fulfillment House? How do I say, hey, I want you guys to do my fulfillment?
Well, right now there's inquiries on our website. You can go and contact us. And so that's an option, but lately it's been pretty much kind of word of mouth. The companies that we are currently fulfilling for, we've usually been able to have a relationship with them prior, and then they hear about us and they decide this would be a great way to have my products fulfilled. It's a need that they have, and it's also supporting a local cause.
Gotcha. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the same question would go for, let's say you have a person who's a special needs child or whatever, and you want them to be involved, did they just contact you through the website or?
Yeah, that's generally how it goes, through the website. And currently, since I've been here, I just started back mid-April with COVID-19 and everything. It's been a little crazy, so we haven't been hiring lately.
Yeah, so how's that affected you guys over there?
Well, surprisingly, with business-wise, our orders were way larger than they'd ever been.
I would imagine, because you got, like, if you've got, well, we talked about Charles. What a good time to read his book, because, you know, you're sitting at home doing nothing.
Exactly, yeah. So the orders were a lot larger, but for a few months we didn't have any associates coming in, as a lot of them do have underlying conditions. So we kept it with just job coaches. So we had minimal people there just coming in, fulfilling orders. And then we didn't have associates come in until mid-May. And right now we're still working on a smaller basis, so we keep it 10 and under in the fulfillment house currently. But we're hoping soon we can get more and more people back in.
Yeah, get back to normal.
For sure.
Yeah. No way. So we were talking a little bit before the show. You actually are going to school in Virginia. So what are you doing down there, and what's the goal? Where are you trying to get to?
Yeah, so I have one more semester. I should graduate in December. I came home early because of COVID. They had everyone go home because most kids are from out of state at the school I attend. But I'm currently pursuing a degree in business administration, or business management and leadership. It's a pretty broad degree there, but I haven't exactly decided what I want to do post-graduation, but I've thought about continuing education, looking at a master's in public administration, or I don't know. Fulfillment House has definitely opened up some doors that I didn't necessarily consider before, but I've really enjoyed all that I've gotten to learn so far.
Yeah, I would think it's a good way to get, some decent contacts and meet some people that you otherwise wouldn't. So have you talked to Charles?
I have not actually talked with Charles personally.
Did you read his book?
I can't say that I have. I know. I'm horrible.
It's a good book.
I need to read it.
If you like finances and investing and all that sort of thing. So let's bring someone else into the program, a regular with the show, if there is such a thing. He's been here before. He's here again now, and he's always a big star. And let's bring in Brent. How you doing, Brent?
Good, Jim. How about you?
Brent. So the last time you were on the show, you had a girlfriend, I think, over at the fulfillment house. Is that still going on?
Yes.
How's that working out for you?
It's pretty good. I went to the Olive Garden with her sister once. Like,
clearly before the virus broke out.
Oh yeah. They'd trying to solve the problem. So Randy's doing so much better now.
Good. So what have you guys been able to do now that everything's?
Yeah, so we fold boxes, learn how to tape, learn how to do a zip ties, and do a bunch of other stuff like games, and do a bunch of other stuff.
Cool. So what do you guys do when you're not at the fulfillment house? What do you do for fun?
Gaming.
What kind of gaming?
Wrestling.
Okay, so is it like which version of it are you doing? Like Xbox or Wii or?
I have a PlayStation 4.
Got the 4. Who do you wrestle against?
No one.
Do you ever win?
Yeah.
Winning is important. That's a good thing. So what is it now that it's starting to warm up? Do you get outside and do anything?
Not very.
Are you planning on it?
Yeah.
Good. That'll be good. So do you work at the fulfillment house? Do you work every day, or how's that work?
I work on Wednesdays and Fridays during the quarantine.
And then what are you going to do after you come out of quarantine?
I have to go back to my regular schedule on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Are you like me and you kind of enjoyed the time off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. A lot. So, are you kind of like me though, and you're ready to go back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there comes a point where there's not much to do. Of course, I don't box or wrestle or whatever. Do you have any other games you do on the PlayStation?
I have a GTA and bunch other games like more wrestling and do a bunch of other stuff.
But wrestling's your favorite game?
Yes. It's 2K20 and I have 15.
Excellent. Now, I understand too that you like to do the weather.
Yes.
So we got to take a break here in a second. When we come back, you want to do the weather for us?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need to study or do you know what it is?
Study.
Okay, we'll study a little bit. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. We've got some more people coming up too. Stay with us. You're watching Kearney Live on 102.7 FM, KPGZ. We'll be right back.
Say thank you to these local underwriters who support KPGZ.
Simplify your banking, simplify your life. It's easy with Kearney Trust Company. The world has become fast-paced, and we understand that you are busy. That's why we offer a banking experience that's as simple and stress-free as can be. Kearney Trust goes beyond convenient locations and good customer care to offer banking services that make managing your finances quicker and easier than ever before. Online, bill pay, e-statements, and mobile banking are available to give you a positive banking experience so you can get back to your life and activities. Kearney Trust also provides capital to people and businesses so they can achieve their goals. Whether you know exactly what you want or just need someone to talk to about your dream, you can speak with them and work on that dream. You may just be getting off the ground or ready to move into your brick and mortar building. Kearney Trust will provide you and your business with the resources you need to succeed. Kearney Trust Company is your partner for success with 2 convenient locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. The phone is 816-628-6666. Kearney Trust Company. Banking you can trust. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to 102.7 FM KPGZ. You're watching Kearney Live on Wednesday afternoon. We're finishing up June here. We've got some folks in from the Fulfillment House for those of you just joining us. Mike Davis is on vacation. He promises he'll be back not next week because next week would have been our chamber lunch, which we're always off on the first Wednesday of every month. But for month number 5, there is no chamber lunch, which is helping my diet problem, but not helping anything else. So, and Brian, you would know, are we going back to real chamber meetings in August?
Yep, August is supposed to be the first one where everybody can get together.
That is excellent. And let me ask the most important question, because we like to do the important questions here on Kearney Live.
I don't know what's on the menu for August.
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
I knew you were going there.
I want to know what's on the menu. Okay, we'll get to that later. But, hey, when we went to break, Brent wanted to do, he's real good friends with Brian Busby over there at Channel 9. And he also wants everybody to know he does Taekwondo. I don't think we're going to do any Taekwondo when we go to break next time. But in the meantime, he wanted to do the weather, so we're going to go to the weather. And now with the weather, here's Brent.
It's 81 degrees currently. Tonight's supposed to be like 62. On Thursday, it's supposed to be sunny with 89 degrees. Low of 71. Friday is supposed to be partly sunny, high of 91. And then Saturday is supposed to be like stormy day on the 84. Then Sunday, stormy, high of 89. And then Monday, supposed to be partly sunny, high of 89.
And how do we finish?
Yes. This is 102.7 World Rocks. And we'll come back.
Very well done. Nicely done. That's worth a little applause there, which I'm sure is coming. There it is right there. I knew everybody would like that. So good job, Brent. We'll get you hired or get you up with the human resources people, see if we can get you in. Nicely done. Also joining us now, our next guest is Henry, is another associate from the Fulfillment House. Henry, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good.
So, Henry, you just saw the weather from Brent. Can you compete with that?
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's not too cold, not too hot.
Nicely done. So how long have you been over at Fulfillment House?
About 2 years or so.
And what all do you do while you're there?
I package boxes and then I fold boxes sometimes if we need to.
Have you met some pretty nice people over there? And
Yes, I have.
so how did you get involved with Fulfillment House?
Bailey's mom, Kim, told my mom about it, and that's how I knew about Fulfillment House.
And what do you do when you're not there?
I just sleep in and do stuff at home.
That's what I do when I'm not here. So I got that going for me. So what are some things, what do you like to do for fun? What do you like to do when you're not working at the Fulfillment House?
I like to write or play basketball.
What do you write about?
Oh, just stuff I think about and stuff I like to write about and stuff.
Have you written any like poems or books or anything like that?
No.
Any desire to do that or?
I don't think so. Not.
What are some things? Do you have anything that you want to do later as you get older, or?
I might work in culinary if.
What's that?
Work as like a chef or
Oh,
something.
okay, gotcha. In the culinary world, what kind of do you cook now?
Sometimes and not.
What are some things you make? Because I make a really, really good scrambled egg.
Sometimes I can make spaghetti with my mom, or I make omelets by myself.
That's almost more than I do. I can also make a fried egg. There it is. So, when you go do your cooking, how do you learn? How do you figure out what it is you want to make and how to make it?
Friend my dad, 'cause he's a really good cook.
What all kind of stuff does he make?
Like meatloaf, pot roast, prime rib, and he makes lots of meats and stuff.
So when Brian, Brian?
I was just going to say,
Brian
now I'm
like
getting hungry.
Well, I was hungry before we started, but I'm more hungry
now it's more.
now. Yeah. So when you do your cooking, do you try to put it out on the plate like the big chefs do and make it look all fancy? And
sometimes.
Can you do me a favor when you're a big name chef? Well, first of all, remember the little people like us, Brian and I. But so when you go to the fancy restaurants, the portions get smaller. Do you ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
And then they put little things on the plate, but it's not really food, so you can't. Don't do that. I want food. Like when I run up here to Stables, there's food. Ask Brian what his favorite food is over at Stables.
What's your favorite food over at Stables?
It's got to be the pretzel bites.
Oh yeah, those pretzel bites. If you guys get up there to Stables, go get the pretzel bites.
Okay.
So, do you watch any sports or anything?
Sometimes if they're on.
Yeah, well, that's true because they haven't been on lately. Good point. What's your favorite sport?
Basketball.
And who do you watch?
The KU Jayhawks.
Really? Who's your favorite player? I don't even know who's on the team now, honestly. But do you know? Are they going to play this year?
I'm not sure with this whole COVID-19 thing. I'm not sure.
So what have they told? What have they told you guys about the COVID-19 and what it is and how it affects you and all that? Have they told you to be like extra careful and all that sort of thing?
Yes, they told us to wear a mask and wash our hands more often.
And have you been following those instructions?
Yep.
Excellent. So, Brent, what about you? How has the COVID thing affected what you do?
Just sit in the house.
You and about 330 million other people.
Yeah.
Well, 329 maybe.
Yeah.
But so Henry, are you excited to get back out and do something else?
Yeah, I think it'll be nice getting out of the house more often and doing stuff.
What would you like to do?
Probably work more at Fulmouth House.
See, everybody wants to work. So I'm kind of pushing toward the retirement thing, but that's just me.
You're just lazy.
Well, there's that. And, I turned 24 last week, so I had that
All
going
right.
for me. Yeah, but I noticed you've got a KC shirt on. It looks like, do you watch the Chiefs?
Yeah, I do like them in football.
Who's your favorite player?
Patrick Mahomes.
Mine too, Henry.
It's kind of felt that coming.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah, kind of not quite sure why I would ask that, but
Nope.
do you think he's going to do good this year if he plays?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's done good in the past.
Yeah. Do you ever get to go out to the game? Like physically go to have you ever been to Arrowhead?
I have once, but that was when I was like little.
What, was it for a game or like a special event type thing?
It was like a special, like we got a tour of the place.
What would you think of it?
It was good. I mean, there's lots to see and some cool stuff to look at.
Where all did they take you down in the locker room and all that sort of thing?
And yes, they did.
So what was your favorite part of the tour?
I think going on the field and seeing where people sit and how many stands they have, and
It looks different when you're down on the field, doesn't it?
mm-hmm.
Did you notice that I don't know if you noticed it, but did you notice how the field isn't like perfectly level?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, it's got a big arch in the middle of it. It just looks completely different when you're down there, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Brent, have you been to any of the? You've got a Royals shirt on. Do you go out to the Royals games?
Sometimes with my friend Trenton and.
Who's your favorite Royals player? Take your time. They change every 7 minutes. I understand.
Alex Gordon.
Alex Gordon. He's going to be back this year.
Yeah, because
for what's left of the season.
Yeah, because Mrs. Gilkey, my teacher, loves Alex Gordon too.
Good. Have you? So what's your favorite part of the stadium? What do you like about it?
Gentleman tours.
Oh, you go on the tour?
Mm-hmm.
What'd they do when they take you on the tour?
Like on the seats and seeing mascots, everything.
Did you see Slugger?
Yes.
Did you get when Henry, when you were at Arrowhead, was Casey Wolf? I forgot what his name was there for a minute. Casey Wolf there?
Yeah.
Did you talk does he talk?
I don't think so.
I don't think
he waves
does.
a lot.
Yeah, he waves and he moves his hips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Brian, here in a few minutes, is going to do an
That's
example
false.
of that.
No, that's false.
Did you talk to Casey Wolf or
Yeah,
whatever?
and he's fun to be around because he's very nice and he likes to get pictures with them and stuff.
He was actually, what event were, the Platte County or the Platte Clay Electric, wasn't he over there when we were over there?
I think so, yeah.
And you talked to him for a little bit?
Yeah, he doesn't say much.
No, he doesn't.
Shy.
But that's neither here nor there. So, Brent, when you went down to Kauffman Stadium, did they let you go down in the locker rooms at all?
Yes, I did. Well, it has to be with a pass.
Right, right.
Did they let you go in the broadcast booth and announce anything?
No.
Oh,
That's what I'd want to do.
you know, I will tell you this, and Brent, you can try and get in on this. So every year, I assume they'll do it this year. They do it in about September. They do a fundraiser and they auction off all these things, and they'll offer or auction off dinner with George Brett, dinner with Frank White, dinner with Jim Dickerson, whatever the case may be. And
With who?
Oh, me.
Oh,
There's
you.
You can
I
have
see.
dinner with me. Last year, I think it raised $7.
Yeah.
George Brett's was like 16 grand.
Yeah.
So I'm close.
Yeah, right. Well, we're hoping for $9
Yeah,
this
if
year.
I can break $10 this year, it'd be awesome. But anyway, one of the things is they do they let you go in and it's a evening in the broadcast booth or something like that.
That'd
Now,
be cool.
They I think they take you out to the truck and show you how everything works and all that sort of thing. And I think that if you want to, they'll let you do a little bit of broadcasting for
Nice.
one of the games. So,
Brett, you could do the weather.
Yeah, that'd be great.
well,
Yeah, there you go.
Can you do sports?
Yeah.
See, he could do the Royals game. Let's hear. So, how would you do it?
Yeah,
Alex Gordon's coming up to bat.
Let's hear some sports.
Well, Alex Gordon hit a home run.
There we go.
Well, there you go.
That's all you need to say, right?
Yeah.
So, yep, that's good. That's good. So, I don't know where to go with that. Either. So are you? So you watch basketball, Henry?
Yep.
Do you wish we had a major league, an NBA team here?
Yes, I
And-
think that would be fun.
You don't remember when we had the Kings, do you? There's no way you could. How old are you?
21.
Yeah, you wouldn't, because the Kings left in what, 76 or something like that.
I don't know. I was hardly around in 76, so.
I just dated myself
Yep.
in a big way.
Yep, stop doing
So
that.
for those of you who don't know, we had a professional basketball team here in the Kansas City area. It was called the Kings, which are now in LA. I think they're still in LA, aren't
I
they?
have no idea.
But or Sacramento.
Andy Martin's our basketball
Yeah, I'd have
guru
to
would
ask
know.
the sports guys or
Dan.
Ogden.
Oh, yep, Jackson.
Jackson. So I lost my whole train of thought, which is not,
Not
unusual
unusual.
for me. But so we were talking sports and all that sort of thing. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that.
That's it?
So let's go back to food for a minute because I'm still hungry. So, Brent, what would you like Henry to make for us?
Pot roast.
I like where your mind's at.
Yep, that's good.
I like that. Can you make us a pot roast?
Yeah.
Can we have it by 1? Because the show ends at 1.
I don't.
Just say no, Henry.
No.
Tell him no.
You
It's
don't
okay.
have to do that. You don't have to do that. So, when we get done here, what are you gonna do for the rest of the day? Either one of you.
We're gonna go back to Fulfillment House and do whatever we need to do.
Are you gonna watch the replay of the show on TV? Because I'm sure somebody will have it by then.
That'd be great.
Brent, are you gonna watch yourself do the weather again?
Yeah.
Outstanding. So when you talk to Brian Busby, what all does he have to say?
There's no tornadoes or anything because the tornadoes are fear.
The tornadoes are fear?
Yeah, because they're scary.
Okay.
Yep.
So he tells you that the tornadoes are fear?
Yeah.
So have you ever seen a tornado?
No. Well, since I was a little kid, I did.
You saw a tornado when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Where at?
It's down, like, in junior high.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you physically saw a tornado.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you doing?
Taking cover.
Actually, in the Midwest, that is better than most people in the Midwest, because what do we do in the Midwest, Brian? When you hear there's a tornado warning, you run outside.
Well, we stand out in the garage and watch it.
Why are you in the garage?
Because we're from Iowa.
I'm way out in the driveway.
Oh, not me.
Yeah. So where did you take cover, Brent?
In the hallway.
Nice. But you actually saw the tornado?
Not in my life. No.
See, I honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a tornado out in the middle. I don't obviously want to see it here. I want to see it in some unpopulated area. Let's take a short break. When we come back, let's bring in Annie. She's going to be up next, and we'll talk a little bit, some more Fulfillment House stuff and some other stuff. You're watching Kearney Live on 102.7 KPGZ. Stay with us.
Say thank you to these local businesses who support KPGZ.
Simplify your banking, simplify your life. It's easy with Kearney Trust Company. The world has become fast-paced, and we understand that you are busy. That's why we offer a banking experience that's as simple and stress-free as can be. Kearney Trust goes beyond convenient locations and good customer care to offer banking services that make managing your finances quicker and easier than ever before. Online, bill pay, e-statements, and mobile banking are available to give you a positive banking experience so you can get back to your life and activities. Kearney Trust also provides capital to people and businesses so they can achieve their goals. Whether you know exactly what you want or just need someone to talk to about your dream, you can speak with them and work on that dream. You may just be getting off the ground or ready to move into your brick and mortar building. Kearney Trust will provide you and your business with the resources you need to succeed. Kearney Trust Company is your partner for success with 2 convenient locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. The phone is 816-628-6666. Kearney Trust Company. Banking you can trust. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to Kearney Live on 102.7 FM KPGZ, or for those of you on our television audience, don't forget you can watch replays of the show on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. That's 102.7 FM KPGZ. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and we are also on, for those of you who are involved in the whole Twitter debate, we are on Parler as well. So you can join us over there. Well, that's not exactly true.
Don't lie to people now.
Part of us have switched over to Parler. We are switching over, though we'll be there shortly. We'll probably be there by the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
Is my understanding.
That's
I was
quick.
just talking to our IT people, and they said we're making the move to Parler.
Nice.
For those of you who are not familiar, look up the Parler app, and you can get all caught up on that. Be sure to join us on July 8th. Remember, we will not have Kearney Live next week because it would be the Chamber lunch would be. However, it is the 4th of July week, so we always take that Wednesday off, as does the Chamber. On July 8th, though, we'll have Jason Worthington.
Withington.
Thanks to Mike. Mike always goes Jason Worthington.
Yeah, don't do that.
But it's Jason Withington, and he'll be here, and he's with A Better Clay County. And we'll be talking some of the Clay County things and all the stuff that goes along with that. Now, joining me from the Fulfillment House is my next guest, which is Annie. And I didn't get your last name. It's not on my sheet here.
Oh, no, it's just Reyes.
Oh, Reyes. Okay, I got it. Now, normally when I welcome people to the program, the studio audience claps, but they didn't. Do you know what happened there?
I'm just not that exciting.
Yeah, I feel that way. Oh, there they are. Way to pay attention, guys. Way to be focused. So, Annie, tell me, welcome to the program, and tell me, how'd you get involved in Fulfillment House?
So I just finished my undergrad in December. So I moved, my parents are from here, so I was living in Utah and Idaho for 5 years. So I finally moved back, and I was like, well, I need a job for a minute. And then Chantel, the prior...
Just for a minute?
Just for a minute till, like, school starts again.
Do places hire for just, like, a minute?
Well, no, maybe 2 minutes.
That'd be awesome. I'd like a job for just a minute.
Yeah, I'll be really fun.
I'm sorry, please continue.
Oh, no, you're fine. And then Chantel, out of nowhere, was like, hey, do you need a job? I'm like, yeah. So I just walked in. They're like, okay. I'm like, okay. So what's your major, what field is your field of study? So I'm public health epidemiology.
So that kind of fits in with what's going on currently. Have you guys been, well, first of all, were you up there and they sent you out, or you had already come home before?
So I finished in December, and so everything was smooth.
Okay.
And then as soon as I left, everything hit the fan.
So what is it that you will be doing now that you're done?
Like what my future career is?
Yeah.
So I eventually want to be an infectious disease nurse, but I want the nursing degree and the master's in epidemiology. I combined them both a little bit.
So as we talk about infectious diseases, would we say that the coronavirus is an infectious disease?
It is pretty infectious. It's contagious, we would say.
All right. For you folks at home, grab your popcorn, because here we go. It's the coronavirus discussion.
Ooh.
So, since you're right out of school and you guys have been, I'm sure you've talked about it, not so much in school because it wasn't a really big thing when you were there, but I'm sure you've talked about it since. And we talked a little bit about it off the air and talked about, what's the general consensus? Is it around to stay? Is it going to fizzle out on its own? Are we going to have a second wave? Should we all just abandon the planet now? What should we do? So your personal opinion, we're not going to, you're not going to be sitting next to Dr. Fauci tomorrow giving testimony in front of Congress, but just generally, where are we at? What's the general thought?
For me personally, my personal opinion is it's going to be around for a little bit longer, but not like hiding in fear from it. It's to respect it. Like obviously, like take precautions, but life does go on with diseases and viruses and stuff. Like you can't just hide forever. So I think eventually it'll slow down a little bit more. Like we're having that big spike again because everybody's coming back, and of course, like some numbers are skewed. That's just what happens. When you like deal with numbers and diseases, mistakes happen. So like, yeah, it'll eventually calm down a little bit more. Cause like right now it's new. We don't know much about it. Like most of us have never been in a situation like this of why are we locked up for why are we stuck inside the house? And like, can I trust my neighbor? So there's a lot of things that we'll have to take baby steps for to come back. Like, can we have like normal conversations face to face without a mask with people and things like that? So eventually I don't think it'll get back to normal, but eventually it'll calm down and we'll find that new normality of like, okay, I can live with this around me. And eventually it might go away, or it might just like die down and settle a little bit.
So yeah, there's a couple of things that go with the numbers. So, and I there were a couple of doctors that we've talked to, and then one of the things that they talked about was when this first came out, and the CDC put out their guidelines, they were frustrated because they were very vague. So the way that people were tracking the numbers, not only in the United States but across the world, was different. In other words, what you would say is a positive case is not what they would say is a positive case. And this is so automatically the data that you're throwing in it's not all consistent. Then you add in, we've got the whole coronavirus death problem where everything's treated as a COVID death, even though you got eaten by an alligator. That's my favorite, by the way. The guy that got eaten by the alligator but was a COVID death. Nice. I like that. But so those numbers are somewhat skewed. And I was talking to my brother, who's a doctor up in Boston, and he said that, you got guys on death certificates just writing whatever they want. And he said it has, in fact, he had a couple of his patients that died that were classified as a COVID death, but it really wasn't. They died of something else, but they had the virus, or they had tested positive. So, with all that said, what you said makes sense. You gotta respect it and everything else. But do you think that would you agree we don't need to go in full-fledged panic mode?
Yeah, I mean, at first, I won't lie. Like, I panicked for a second. So I'm like, whoa, this is like all my textbooks, and now I'm living it.
But now, and I get the shutdown thing. At the time, we just didn't know. Nobody knew. I get it. I don't have any problem with that. But now, as we start to learn more, it appears that we need to, let's go with what we're learning and then act on that and not go into stage 9 freak out mode.
Yeah, obviously we've seen if we freak out more, our information starts getting skewed, and we take what we want and then leave out what we need. And so we're like, okay, this is what I heard, and then they pass it on. It's the wrong information. Like, I have a friend who works at the CDC. She got like the ultimate dream job there. So she's like, yeah, what happens is that word of mouth it's being directed into the wrong way. So it creates more panic. But in all sense, like, just go and remain calm, because the more you panic, the more other people see it, and then that causes bigger problems, like the toilet paper situation. So, like, panic like that.
Still to this day, I don't understand how we got hung up on that.
I emailed my professor. I was like, "What is this?" He's like, "I have no idea."
But isn't it weird how how people react? Oh my God, we're not going to have toilet paper, and everybody ran to. I mean, and it took, for some places, months to get restocked. But thank God we lived through that. But so, yeah, along those lines, one of the things, we've said this over and over, because as we get closer to fall and we talk about schools reopening and all that sort of thing, and we talked about public events like football games and that sort of thing. And I want to see if you agree with this, because this is kind of what we've been saying. If you don't want to go and you don't feel comfortable, don't go. If you don't feel good and you have symptoms, and it doesn't have to be coronavirus symptoms. If you have the flu or a cold, don't go. I don't want that stuff. So it's just like anything else. Sadly, a lot of it's like common sense. If you're sick, they say don't go to work, especially if you work in some confined area. But would you agree with that? I mean, if you're not comfortable, don't go. But the whole world shouldn't have to come to a screeching halt because you don't feel comfortable.
No, I agree with that 100%. Because if you, because like you're gonna have two, and it's gonna divide even more, like mask versus non-mask. That's like the main thing right now. So like I agree 100%. Like, I'm a huge soccer fan. Like, I love going to the stadiums and stuff. And like, if you don't feel comfortable, do not go. And if you feel comfortable, go. And like, if you don't want to wear a mask, don't. If you do, then great. I mean, it comes down to individuals specifically now more than ever. Because like, obviously we've seen you can't have a big group together because everybody has their own opinion. So for you and your family, just focus on what you think is like safe for you. Like, if I go to Walmart, I'll wear a mask, just because it's Walmart. So you never know. But just things like that.
Some people did that before the virus, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. So I agree 100%.
So
with that.
what, but didn't it, and your friend with the CDC probably knows this too, it adds a level of confusion when Dr. Fauci, who's supposed to be the expert in all this, says don't wear a mask, you don't need to. Then he says you need to. So there's confusion right out of the gate. Then he says I lied because I wanted to make sure the medical people had masks. So now you've got and he's supposed to be the authority. So that's where, that gives argument for both sides. They're like, well, he said don't wear a mask. Well, no, he didn't. He said wear a mask. So it leaves you with, I don't know what to do. And is there, one thing I've always wondered, Is there a scientific anything anywhere specifically 100% that says masks work or masks don't work? I read a lot on Twitter and Facebook, which I realize is the authority in all things of everything. But I was looking for, I don't know, a scientific something or other that said, and I don't want a news story, I want something scientific that says, yes, they work and this is why, or no, they don't work and this is why. Have you seen anything?
Not one that's like 100% no, yes or no answer. What's going to happen, and this is going to be for a while because it's such a new situation, is they're going to be that back and forth as well. And I think what I tell people when they're like, where do I go for information? I'm like, well, make sure it's a reliable source, not like Twitter or Facebook or Karen down the street, But just try doing that. But then I also tell them to have an open mind because this is new as well, that things are going to change. It's going to go back and forth, but we learn as we go with it. So there isn't just one certain reliable source of yes and no.
Well, and the other thing that I find kind of interesting, and I think people are starting to notice this, is there's no requirement on the mask. They say you have to have a face covering. So some people are wearing like an N95. I think I told Brian when this happened, I was at an airport and a guy got off with a full-blown, and this is back in February, I think. This guy got off with a full-blown gas mask. I mean, he looked like Darth Vader coming off the plane. That was very funny, by the way. The sad part was I don't know if he was being serious or not. I think he was. And then you have people that wear just kind of a sheet that they've ripped out of a hotel, and they throw that over their face. So there's no guideline. Is there a guideline you know of that says, okay, this is a mask, this really isn't a mask?
From what I've talked with my friends, like certain things, like if I can breathe through this cloth or whatever's over my mouth and I can feel the hot air and the moisture coming from it, it's not going to do anything at all.
That's actually a good idea. That's a good test.
Yeah. But
so when Melissa, what's her name? Melissa Milano. I can't remember. When she wore the crochet mask, I'm thinking that doesn't count.
No,
yeah,
there's little holes. And like we were talking earlier, like I have a T-Rex outfit. That would be considered face protection because I can't get my germs. I forget the words right now for him.
So when you go like to a soccer game in your T-Rex outfit, do you find it difficult to sit in the chair?
I will find out if I ever take it with me. I might have to do that once just to see.
That would be actually kind of funny. Do you go to Walmart in your T-Rex outfit?
Not yet. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the right moment. If you would let us know so we can video that. I will take it with. I'll take a GoPro and be like, my venture day one.
Well, I'll have someone else do it. That way we get that third party perspective.
Okay.
That's interesting. I think a lot of people, even as we go forward, would like to know. And I think honestly, there's a large chunk of people who would like to hear a straightforward answer, not, tilted to whatever I want. This is what I think, so this is what I'm going to tell you, the numbers are. Because when you look at let's talk about, when you talk about the viruses and the deaths and all that, although the cases in certain areas are going up, and in some places pretty significantly, the deaths still continue to go down. Hospitalizations for most part are going down. Then there was the part where some of the COVID, and see if you heard this, a lot of not a lot. Some of the COVID cases they're reporting now are cases where you test positive for the antibodies, which means you had it, but you really had it back in like February, but you're counted as June case, and you're really not. You were a case back in February. So that's screwing everything up.
Yeah. It'll be a while before there's an actual set number and things. It's just right now we just have to go with the flow kind of, but like use caution as well.
Will they go back and correct it, you think, or will it just be it is what it is?
I personally
I don't even know how you would.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I was talking to the professor once. He's like, I don't know how we're going to fix the data. He's like, just go with it and then just like put a little warning,
little asterisk and say,
be like, it probably could be wrong.
So are they making any efforts to improve it, you think?
I've heard yes and no a little bit. Like some hospitals are stepping it up, like, okay, we have to actually prove that they're COVID. But then I've also heard that they're like, it's just really hard to make sure that they follow these guidelines of whether or not it is COVID or not.
Well, that's good information. I thank you very much for coming in. I know that wasn't what we originally.
It's fine.
Yeah, but that's good because I know a lot of people want to know what's going on, especially as we start to open things back up. And there's a lot of question about that. And thanks for all the work you're doing over at the Fulfillment House as well. Brent, good to have you in.
Thank you.
You've been watching Kearney Live. Don't forget we won't be here next week because it is the 4th of July week. However, we will be the week after that on July 8th. For those of you who are going out with your fireworks, have fun, but don't blow up anything you shouldn't. We'll talk to you later. Have fun. Thanks for joining us on Kearney Live. See you next time.